Hey, so it's me, Laura, and I've got my roommate and coach here, Alexa. She
Hello.
has been a rock star. She signed up in January, and she's hit Success Club every single month, and she's hit Success Club 10 for the last 2 months. She's almost at Success Club 10 for this month, and she earned her free ticket to Summit. She basically paid for her whole trip in the 4 months that she had been coaching. I remember her first month, she made enough money to cover her car payment. Super exciting stuff. So, obviously, and her phone's going off right now.
Let's see who it is.
She's just
my father.
wanted. She's a
Daddy will get a call back in a second.
Okay, so I think that since she has been a coach for such a short amount of time, yet is having so much success, she obviously has some words of wisdom to share. So I'm just going to ask her, I'm going to grill her a little bit and ask her what the heck she's been doing, because she's doing awesome. So first off, okay, so you signed up as a coach as January. What made you sign up as a coach? Yes, that's the first question.
Okay, so Laura, one of the first things she did when I did sign up was think of my why, but it kind of already, I've known my why for about the last year. I struggled a lot with my weight, and I had a lot of issues kind of related to drinking, and I got to a point last year during 2013, unlucky number 13, where, to put it bluntly, I simply could not continue the lifestyle I was leading. It was literally ruining my life, and it had huge consequences on a lot of stuff going on. So it was a decision point where there was no way but to get healthy. That was the only one option. So I did it. I worked on a lot of my personal issues, but definitely, looked in my diet, looked at kind of how I was working out, and really changed a lot of what I was doing. So I got some success with that, and I lost probably the last kind of 15 to 20 of the weight I wanted to lose from college, where I gained most of my weight just in that time frame. So Laura actually invited me to go to the Super Saturday down in Miami, the one in January that she's mentioned that I became a coach in January. It was kind of the result of that. And to put it pretty simply, the only really reason I wanted to go down to Miami was because I had a friend who lived there that I hadn't seen yet. And I was like, Laura might pay for my gas. This will be a fun road trip. I'm going to go. At the very least, I'll do the workout with Sagi, because Sagi was leading the workout at that Super Saturday. I'm like, okay, he's famous. He's made a Beachbody program. That's kind of cool. I'll go for the free workout. So that's why I got dragged down there. And we went, and ironically, I actually missed the beginning of Super Saturday because...
It was 75% of it.
Yeah, she keeps it real. I missed probably 75% of it. And I missed Lindsay Matway, the freaking top coach's speech, which I'm still kicking myself for, because I definitely would have benefited for that. But it happened for a reason, because the reason I came down there was kind of just to party and see my friend. And I did that. But as I'm sitting in the room finally, not feeling my finest from the night before, it kind of just hit me. I'm here for a reason. And Laura's coach, Barbie, one of the most successful coaches in the program, or in the company, she was a speaker too. And her speech, I remember it clearly. It was kind of about, she hit a patch when she was in a rut with coaching. And I hadn't obviously started coaching yet, so it wasn't a coaching rut, but I felt like I was in a rut. And the reason I felt like I was in a rut was because I felt great about how I looked and the weight I'd lost and what I'd turned around from my personal standpoint, but I was in a rut in the sense that I wasn't doing anything to pay it forward. I had all this newfound knowledge, and just my life had literally dramatically changed in the last year. And I was sitting on that, and I felt like until I pay it forward, I'm going to be in this rut. I'm going to know, okay, you're doing good. You're, working out, getting healthier. But until I'm changing others people's lives, I'm really not paying it forward, and I was in a rut. So I met Barbie afterwards, and I still hadn't committed actually to doing it. She said, "Oh, are you a coach?" And I said, "Actually, no, I'm not. But I'm trying to get my mom to be a coach. I want my mom to do it." And then I kind of rethought that on the drive home, and I said, "Why the hell would I just want to sign up my mom as a coach? My mom is a coach. She's great, and she runs marathons, and she's 52. But I was like, I can do this. I'm now at the point in my life where I'm comfortable enough with myself and my health and fitness journey that I can truly help others. So literally, I knew probably walking out of the event I was going to sign up as a coach. I think I told Laura on the drive home,
Mhm.
and then in the car ride home back to Orlando, and then I signed up that next week. It was kind of like mid-January. So
Right. And so we've been roommates for 2 years, and she obviously knew I was a coach, and she
I
obviously
was gonna say
had the
that.
opportunity to join. I think I never pushed her into it,
Yeah.
but I always suggest like, you be good at this, and she's like, if I do it, I'm gonna really do it. I don't want to be one of those people that signs up and quits. I want
Oh, no.
to commit and go 100%. So I think that the waiting was definitely well worth it, because while you waited, it's not like you wasted months of coach. You could have been coaching. It was more like you waited till the time where you could go really fast. So basically, what happened? So you decided to go all in, right? And then
Absolutely.
what happened? What was your first move to kind of tell people that you were a coach slash kind of get people's interest peaked and kind of start getting your clientele started?
Yep. So yeah, like Laura said, I've lived with her for almost 2 years. I've been a coach for 4 months. So that just kind of speaks volumes to one, how I never will be do anything unless I want to, and how when I do something, I begin it with the intention of succeeding. I know I'm going to succeed as soon as I start, and that was my mentality. When I signed up, I knew I was going to be successful, and so I signed up. And one of the first things I did actually was I did like a pic stitch, a picture, that app where you can put photos next to each other. I did one of me probably at my heaviest when I was about 160, a little over 160 actually, towards the end of my college. And then I put one from December actually. So I've even toned down since then, but where I was at the time, one of the like better me looking pictures, put them together, and I did on the same day. It was a Sunday. I went like to a coffee shop, and I was just kind of trying to organize things. And I knew one of the first things I wanted to do was gain awareness from my warm market, the people that follow me on Instagram, people that follow me on Facebook. So friends, family, college friends, high school friends in Orlando. So I posted that picture, and then I also kind of posted a little blurb about my story and how I really struggled with bad habits, but more importantly, bad attitude. I just didn't. I thought my way was working, and it was working on some things, but one thing it was not working on was health. And so when I ultimately made that realization and knew I had to change, that's what got the ball rolling. So I kind of shared that. It was more about me as a person, my personal story, less than like necessarily a call to action. At the very end, though, I said, like, if you're interested in joining my challenge group, because I know that a lot of, when you do posts on social media, you do a call to action, letting your people know you're starting a fitness challenge group. So I did that, and I said, if you're interested in starting my challenge group or joining my challenge group, message me. I had my email address, and I said, or back on here, meaning Facebook or Instagram, no matter where I posted it. So I got a ton of likes on that, and that was cool. It really wasn't a brag thing. It was just more I want to share this,
Mm-hmm.
and I want people to know this is something that I'm promoting, I guess. Promoting might be the wrong word, but so I got a lot of likes from that, and a few people messaged me on Facebook almost like immediately that same day and said, hey, you look so great, what's your challenge, what are the details? And so from that day alone, I got a good handful of people that at least wanted to learn more about what I was doing. So that was the first kind of blast I did.
Right. And so you got a lot of people from that. So you focused on your story, which I want to point out. You didn't say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach now. Do you want to join my challenge? Like, let me know. You were vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You shared your story. I mean, it's not always the most comfortable thing to post, like, your before and after. Like, I was fat, hey, now I'm not, on Facebook for the whole world to see. But you shared your story, and that was kind of the first thing you did. So I think that got a lot of people's attention. Not only that, but it kept going. And you have yet to, post a link to a program.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't really done anything else. You've posted stuff on Instagram and Facebook, just kind of sharing your healthy lifestyle. This is what I ran a race. This is, what I'm doing. But how are you still kind of getting people to come to you versus you having to fish for them?
I think the main thing is that I'm coming, like, because I'm coming, and not everyone who is a Beachbody coach had to struggle with their weight. I totally understand that. But I think when you make it a personal post, and at a Super Saturday event, Was that in March? Allie?
Yeah.
That Allie Upham, another top coach, spoke at. She said, like, uh, when you do it right, you share yourself and people come to you. And I think by sharing myself and like, I'm I'm no bullshit, and like I've always been hardworking. I did well in school. I did well at Notre Dame with things. I just had this big like elephant in the room, and it was a lot related to my drinking. And I just ate bad, and I didn't work out. And so people who've known me for all my life know that like everyone could knew how I looked. So I think by being honest and saying kind of this is what's changed, people had to realize like, hey, the new Alexa is here. So um, that was definitely probably hit home, because one thing I've noticed too is that a lot of the people that I am attracting are people kind of in similar situations. Like they've been in college, they're young, young adults. They've been in college, maybe gained some weight, maybe now they're in the working professional world and they're at a desk, they're in a more sedentary lifestyle, and they've gained some weight. But these are all kids that like I remember from Notre Dame or high school that were in shape, athletic kids. They did intramural sports, and now it's like they've gone transitioned to the professional setting and they've gotten unhealthier, which is kind of almost the opposite. I was super unhealthy growing up and throughout college, and since college I've increased because I'm working a desk job, but like now it's more, I have more, I guess, ownership, and I feel like I have worked through so many like the roadblocks. So a lot of the people that messaged me were people from Notre Dame, and they basically would say, or high school, and they'd say, hey, you look so great. What are you doing? And so I told them that I had really been focusing on my health and kind of toned down my drinking, eating better. I shared that I'd been doing Insanity, which Laura owns it. I did Insanity for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I did it right before I went to Cancun the year before, and a little bit in the past, kind of sporadically. I drank Shakeology, I think, for a month or two, and then I stopped for a while. But Laura, like when I was going through some crap and my money was tight, Laura gave me a bag and was like, "If you help me with my Beachbody work, like here, this bag's yours." So that was great.
Thank you notes.
And I wrote thank you notes for Laura. So
outsourced delegation.
She delegated. So even before I'd gone 100% all in, I would say in January, I was familiar with the products, the fitness programs, and Shakeology. And I drank other shakes before too. So part of me almost felt like a hypocrite, but now since going all in, I realize there's nothing that compares to Shakeology. Like even if I thought, okay, maybe there's more protein content in this, it's not protein content. It's the nutritional benefit you get from freaking $41 of vegetables and superfoods in a $3-4 glass. So I see now less just the protein aspect of Shakeology and kind of the full health benefit of Shakeology. So yeah, maybe I used to kind of be like, oh, I drink other proteins and hate it a little bit, but I don't do that anymore. I'm all in now, and I drink it every single day, and I feel comfortable talking to people and telling them how it can benefit them. One thing I did share too is that, and this was not right in January, but further in, more recently in the months, is that upon drinking Shakeology every single day, I used to drink probably 5 to 6 cups of coffee a day, like notorious coffee drinker, and now probably drink 1 or 2 on the weekdays, and then maybe like a venti, like a 3 serving on the weekends. So that was huge for me because I not only wasted a ton of money, but being addicted to caffeine is not fun. Like I would shake if I wouldn't have that much caffeine. So yeah, it was bad. So that's another good thing too, especially with people in office settings. The coffee machine's right there, and people are pounding coffee, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I have no energy." Well, stop drinking 6 cups of coffee a day, because it actually does the opposite. It wears you down and makes you more tired and lethargic. So I'll usually share that with someone, and I purchased Chalene Extreme in the challenge pack. I purchased a Chalene Extreme challenge pack when I signed up as a coach. So I'd been doing kind of cardio workout boot camp style, like in Orlando with other friends. Since then, I'm not done that anymore. But I was going through Chalene Extreme at the time from the fitness perspective. So I was doing that kind of the first couple months. So right off the bat, one of my classmates, or a few of my classmates, were interested in T25 because that was hyped in January, and there was a lot of buzz on that, and I think it was a promotion in January. So the first month I got Success Club 5, which was actually February, because if you achieve it in the first 3 months, your success starter, but the first month can be the exact month you sign up in or the next one. And so I signed up kind of like late January, so I was pushing for it for February. So I got two of my friends that had previous knowledge of Sean T and his work that were really interested in T25. So they ended up both getting a challenge pack. And then I know I had someone else sign up on Shakeology because that's how I got to 5 that month. But
so when people reach out to you, how would you say that conversation typically goes? From someone reaching out to you saying you look great, and then you tell them I've been really prioritizing my health and fitness, this, that, and the other thing. And then basically what are the next steps or messages you get from someone reaching out to you and you telling what you do to get them to be in your challenge group? How many messages would you say? How long would you say it typically takes? Kind of what stuff do you talk about?
It varies. I guess I should have, maybe to backtrack, I should have said this first. Like, once we do kind of the catch up and just general health where I'm at, then I'll usually say something like, I actually just became a Beachbody coach. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Beachbody or any of its products. And usually I'll do, like, in a parentheses, P90X, Insanity, Shakeology, etc. So I would say probably 75% of the time they are familiar with Beachbody. Like, oh yeah, my cousin did P90X, or oh yeah, I've heard of that. So yeah, they know. Like, people aren't living in boxes. They're very popular programs. So another 25% of the time they don't really know. So I'll kind of just educate them a little bit, just brief. But most people know, which is nice. So I don't need to reinvent the wheel with that one. And then usually I'll ask, do you have particular fitness goals this year? It was fitting when I became a coach the first couple months because it was just right at the turn of the year. It was early 2014. Everyone's making resolutions. A lot of people aren't making progress on their resolutions end of January and early February. So it was another crucial time to say, how are your resolutions going? Like, what are your plans this year? Everyone wants to talk about that kind of stuff. So then they'd say, if it was someone who had weight to lose, I actually want to lose 25 to 30 pounds. If it was someone that maybe didn't have weight to lose, but they had a specific goal, I say, I'm a biker and I'm going to be competing in some races this year. I really want to cross train. Or someone who said, I really trying to, tone, like maybe it's someone who doesn't have weight to lose but wants to add muscle. I want to tone, blah, blah, blah. So almost every single person has a specific goal in mind, whether it's weight loss or tone or an event that's coming up. That's another thing people say, my brother's getting married in June. So I'll do that, and then we'll talk about that. And then usually from that point, I'll have a pretty good idea of what type of Beachbody program would be most beneficial, whether it's going to be a lot of cardio, maybe when they just kind of need to get going on the weight loss, or if specific, if they like kind of lifting weights, if they want to like bulk up, depending on what their goals are. Exactly. I'll kind of refer a program and say, are you, based on, what we've talked about so far, I think this Beachbody program would actually, be pretty perfect for your goals. So then, usually then I ask for an email because I don't really like doing too much messaging on Facebook once you're getting into the nitty-gritty details. And I'll pop them an email from my email and usually just kind of recap what we've talked about or whatever. And I'll add the program page more than often than not, let them take a look. And most always I set a date I'm going to follow up. Not specific. I'm not like, I'm going to call you at 3:45 p.m. on Tuesday. It's, why don't you take a look, and I'm going to follow up by X day of the week. So they'll think about it, they'll look at it, whatever. And then after that, I can usually kind of gauge, just reading the situation, if they feel like they're ready to purchase that week, for instance, and then I can take them to a direct link process and, get that going. If it's kind of in limbo, sometimes I'll have them ask questions or, like, this is more than expensive than I thought it was. And then there's a lot of price objections, which are out there on the website. And I'm sure everyone's heard common price objections. So I'll use a price objection. I try not to, I usually don't do too much of Beachbody script type stuff, except for objections, because they're really, really helpful. I always ask Laura, I got an objection on Shakeology price, and she'll come back and be like, did you mention this, 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 and this, and this? And I'll be like, I didn't think of that. So then I'll say that, and they'll think about it, turn and do that one. So that's kind of the process, start to finish, from when someone messages me to how potentially there's an order from that, or if they need more time. if it's someone I follow up with who then orders, someone that's still TBD or whatever. But that's kind of how I interact with my
Do you
clients.
keep like a running list of everyone? Do you kind of keep a list of like who you're going to follow up with on one date so you can keep track of it? Do you keep maybe people say not right now, like as in don't follow up soon? Do you still keep track of them, and do you make a note in your head like I'm going to follow up with them in 3 to 4 months, maybe when they haven't seen any progress? How do you track?
This book, I got this during Christmas break, and it's pretty much been my Beachbody book. I'll have daily, I write down like just shit I need to get done, which I do like all the time, but then I usually will do I don't know if anyone can see it, a Beachbody page, and I'll make it numerical. And for me, this timeline's usually in the 1 to 2 week time frame. Like follow up with Antoinette and Matt, for example. They both had expressed interest in Shakeology, blah, blah, blah. You know, Olivia, these are just things I'm reading, but I'll have the names on there of people that I've either talked to that I need to follow up with, or people that someone referred to me, or people that I know if I talk to them, they might be interested. Like just top of my brain. So I would probably say I have a list of maybe like 8 to 10 at any given time that I'm going to follow up with in the next 1 to 2 weeks window. But I always write it down. It's organized chaos, this book, but it works. And I always write it down. I don't think that I'm not the type of person that's just going to remember everything, because I don't. I write it all down, very detailed, very planned, because failing to plan is planning to fail. That was my motto during the CPA process, and it's my motto with this. If you're not planned, you're not going to win.
Okay, perfect. So that sounds good. I think that we have all gotten kind of a feel for how you get people from the first conversation to the purchase. So now, say someone does purchase the program, they get added to your challenge group. How has that been going? I mean, you weren't in a challenge group really before you started coaching, so. But yet you've said your challenge group has had so much success. You're encouraging each other. It's just like women empowering women. It's just like everyone's jacked up. You don't even have to post a lot of the time. How did you, I guess, know how to run a challenge group when you'd never even been in one? And then how are you keeping it engaged? How are you keeping the engagement going?
I think the Beachbody process of my 4 months has been 2 nodes. The first node was like the beginning, when it was more about awareness associated with me and my brand now as a healthy, person. And so that was different, in that it was kind of just learning the basics. And I did a lot of just blunders. Like I sent a video to someone, I could tell they hated it, didn't work out, awkward, they didn't respond. So just crap like that. But what really was the turning point was when the 21-day fix launched, because
So you mentioned, you made a lot of blunders.
Stuff.
What made you, I know you've mentioned, I have no fear of someone saying no. Why is that, and why, maybe, because we all fail at the beginning. I think people don't realize that. Even the top coaches, fail. Like, I was telling Alexa's, one time I just, word vomited every little detail about the price, the Shakeology, every superfood, and obviously didn't get anything back. So what made you keep going and be like, okay, I'm going to get this eventually, versus just getting paralyzed with fear. It's like, oh my God, no one's going to want this. No one wants it. I'm just going to retreat back into my hole. What made you keep going past the blunders?
Past the blunders. Oh, the blunders were very, very helpful, first of all. Extremely helpful. I know what not to do. So, like Laura mentioned, going through the year I had last year, just from a personal thing, if I was if I can do that, I can do anything. So I wasn't fearful in that sense. I think the thing I knew was that at that point, I'd finally realized that, okay, these programs and drinking Shakeology actually work. I've seen so many people go to the gym day in, day out, do the elliptical, or do whatever, eat out every meal, the treadmill, something, and they're seeing no results. And I see people who follow these programs, not even insanely strictly. They might, take a lifestyle meal, and they're extremely successful. Bodies are changed, and it's completely, I heard this thing, it was revolutionizing home fitness, and it really has, because when you're able to do something in your kind of not your comfort zone, but still your comfort zone, and your home, in your living room or in your bedroom on a laptop with a DVD is your comfort zone. People aren't necessarily comfortable in the gym or in more of a social setting if they're not really, comfortable with their body and its ins and outs quite yet. So if you can do it in somewhere that's comfortable for you, I feel like you're going to try harder, and I feel like you're going to be more apt to stick with it because no one's in the gym watching you, like laughing, if maybe your pants are too tight or you can't lift or you can't run. Like no one's doing that. You're by yourself. So I truly believe in these programs, and that's the main thing. And I know that all the people that have achieved success from this can't be wrong. I know now with certainty that this stuff works. And Lindsay Matway, the top coach, I was reading her website. I mentioned this too. I think I said it in a comment or something, but she was like, your success as a Beachbody coach is directly correlated to the number of lives you change. And it's totally true. And I know that these programs can change lives. And I know that people want their lives changed. That's what I know because I struggled with it, but I always wanted to be healthier. I always wanted to feel more confident. I always wanted to be a better version of myself deep down. People want their lives changed, no matter whether they're going to tell you that like that, and they're very open, or if it takes a while to get it out of them. So I knew that I just had to keep going because all it was going to take for kind of just, a person was going to achieve some success to get me confident in my ability to be a coach, to get another one. And then slowly but surely, I'm building this base. So the first couple months I did start to build my base. And then what really just boom, I think changed a lot was the 21 Day Fix, like I was saying, because it was the first Beachbody program that really had a nutritional plan really associated with the program. Like the fitness programs are, workouts, but it's all about that nutrition plan. And that's freaking key because that is what did it for me too. I started going through the fix, and within like a week and a half, I was like just dropping weight, like leaning out, just insane. And it was so easy. So I was able to share my successes with that particular Beachbody program, which I was following very strictly for round one with others. So I think when you're really a product of the product and you can share that, they're like, okay, I can literally see the results on her. What is she doing? And I said, I'm doing this. So I think in March I had Success Club 10. In April I had Success Club 10. The majority of it was from Challenge Pack orders for the 21 Day Fix. And inevitably they were just all women. I'm attracting more women than men is what I found, but that's okay because I'm kind of in this to empower women, if you don't,
not specific enough with who you're targeting, you're going to target no one. So.
Men are fine, but I'm just personally, more women are relating to me is what I'm finding, which makes sense. So most of those have been 21 Day Fix challenge packs, and I made a group on Facebook, and I'm not a huge Facebook person, so leading a challenge group was kind of new, but I wanted to treat it as a forum, and I wanted to treat it as somewhere where it got to a point where everyone was able to comment on it as a coach in the making themselves. Like everyone felt comfortable with the program. They felt like they could speak about it. We were all doing the same program, which is definitely helpful. I know some challenge groups don't have to do that, but we're all doing the same program. So what I did was I really spoke with each woman like after she purchased it, and we talked specific goals. I said when I introduced everyone into the Facebook group, I had them each say a short introduction, and then the goals, their particular goals. A few were, I want to get fit by this date for a wedding. That was my friend Hallie, for instance. Some said I need to get into a healthy eating lifestyle because that's my main struggle. Some were just whatever. So they posted a goal. Everyone, would like it. Everyone was liking comments, just like, it was just women like empowering each other. So it was either friends or people I work with at work. I would talk to them one-on-one too, and just, make sure they understood the program. I would also thank them, for like their support. And I would also thank people. This is one thing I'm doing consistently throughout is I'll thank people who are just powerhouses with posting. Like if someone's very inspirational and very positive with all of their comments, if someone always comments on what I post, like if I do a call out in accountability, like who's working out today? What are you doing? This is my schedule. Someone who always posts, I'll text them usually. I can think of one in particular as I'm saying this, and I'll say, thank you so much for your participation and, your positive, inspiring comments. Like you're doing such kind of like just to lift them up. It makes them feel very happy about themselves, which I'm sure they're already feeling great because they're doing the program. They're seeing results. So they're already feeling better in their body. But then by having someone tell them, thank you for your post and your participation also makes them feel good as a leader too. It makes them feel good as a mini coach in the making. And so that's what's going to keep them coming back for more, feeling like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Like, I can keep going. So
Mhm.
that's been clutch. Having all women has been helpful. People are more apt to post photos of themselves, like progress photos, because there's no guys. We're not all looking at each other in sports bras. So that's been comfortable. I've shared pictures of me also on Instagram and Facebook in this time while being on the program. Like, my back completely fluffed to tonnage like in 3 weeks. It's been insane. My stomach's flattened a lot too. And I've been sharing kind of another pick stitch photos by each other in the group on my social media as well. And other females in the group are doing that too. So just a lot of just like empowerment and encouragement, and just like women helping women is kind of like the theme of that.
So what do you post daily? Do you have like a schedule of like, I'm going to post these things, like Monday's going to be this day, Shakeology day, or do you just kind of go with the flow? Do you just more like wake up and think, what do these women need to hear, or how are you posting every day? Do you have a plan, or is it just?
It's a good question, and I'm actually starting tomorrow going to be very more planned and scheduled with this. I have been a little kind of, what's today going to be, and I post, but they're in 3 buckets. They're either related to Shakeology, no, I guess they're 4. They're either related to Shakeology, related to diet and nutrition, like meal planning, this is what I'm eating, what are you guys eating, or the workouts, what are you working out, how are you working out today, or then the 4th bucket is like just general inspiration and positivity. I'll either post a quote or a picture of a quote, like you can find good ones on Instagram, something like that, and just say, a few words. So one of those 4 buckets is what I choose from. I usually just do 1 a day. And then if it's something where I'm asking a question, I'll either tag them or I'll tag them in a comment, everyone in the group. At least 50% reply to everything, which is good. That's a good, my goal is obviously 100% every time, but kind of right now I'm trending a little over 50 for everything, which is cool. Everyone at least reads it, and a lot of people just like things, not necessarily post a comment, but everyone's viewing it in there. But what I'm trying to do now is, some people are doing round 2 now, and it's a change in their lifestyle, so they're going to stay in the group. The group's not just a 21-day thing, actually. It's kind of serving as just a, who knows how long it'll last, but it's awesome. And I think a lot of coaches are going to come out of it because it's been such a great group. So right now we're sticking at that. I'm definitely going to get a lot more planned, and I'm going to write probably a plan for the week. Okay, Monday is going to be whatever topic day. Here's what I'm probably doing. Here's probably the picture I'm going to use. So I'm going to get more planned on that. But I just kind of was shooting in the dark at first. But luckily it's been working out pretty
and I
good.
think that even though you weren't in a challenge group, you won, first and foremost, you had the passion to help them. You weren't like, your goal wasn't to make money. Nope. Still isn't to make money. And the people you're attracting, as coaches especially, are those that aren't in it to make money and really want to help people. So I think would you agree that's why you've had so much success, because you didn't do this for money at all?
Yeah, there's, I read a lot of Buddhist stuff, and there's a Buddhist notion of like attachment and grasping, and when you're doing something and you're so attached to a particular outcome, very very like specific, like if you're doing something just to make money and that's all you care about, and your end goal is always money, and you could be selling Mary Kay, I mean, you could be doing anything. If you're in it for a sole reason, like, it's like the more you grasp, the more you have attachment to it, it's going to be harder to achieve. So if you can just let go, don't grasp for it, let the process work, be yourself, be passionate, and be in it to help, then people won't read you as a salesperson. People won't read you as a skis ball. They'll read you as someone who literally lives and breathes this stuff, and it's someone that they want to be a part of. Like, they want to be, on your team. So that's how I view it. I definitely, because I'm so OCD about like everything, I check my online office multiple times a day. I do check my, commissions, and I check my coaches and everything, just to make sure there's not some crazy and like something's wrong. I need to call coach relations, which would be a nightmare because I'd be on hold for 8 hours at this rate. But I'll always check, I know how much I'm making, but I'm not in it for the money.
Yeah, it's more like you log in, you're like, oh,
I'm like, oh, nice. I told Laura the other day, like,
$100 a week.
Cool. What the hell is this? I can pay for Vegas now. So that's what it is. And people, I mean, they can smell it. Some of the people, the clients, the customers I've talked with, where I was that day just feeling more like I need the recognition, I need the money, I was more stressed that day. they can smell it on you. Those are people that almost always I've scared away. Like they have not, I don't think, they've not bought challenge packs or Shakeology from that because they smell it on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just
yeah, especially like you haven't had a whole lot of end of the month run to get Success Club, but I've had some failures in the past too where it's like, I mean, it's important to get Success Club, it is, but it's really important to just focus on truly helping people for the most of the month, and you're going to hit it regardless, because when you get to those last 24 hours, and you're better off asking a family or friend for a favor than you are like messaging everyone like, you order today, like here's the link, blah blah blah, like, and just then you
freaking
ruin
them out
for forever, not just that month. So okay, cool. Well, do you have any last tips? Any last? No, she's all tapped out. She didn't want this to be
kind of. I know. I was told Laura. I was like, I don't want this to be long, and I'm looking at the time, and it's kind of long. But if you sat through all of this, congrats. But I think
it was helpful, though. I mean,
I hope it was helpful. I mean, I'm not like at all trying to brag, but I mean, I got Success Starters by hitting Success Club the first 3 months as a coach. I earned my free ticket to Vegas, so I had a $0.0 on the summit registration. Everything I've earned so far, I'm literally able to, everything that I've made, reinvest into Summit, and I don't think I'll be paying for much more than I've made through Beachbody, which is awesome. That's a good
last note to end on too, I guess. Summit. So why?
Yes.
I told you that you needed to go, and you're like, think about it, and then you decided to go all in, and now what are you most excited about it? What, I guess, do you hope to get out of it? What are your goals? And how do you think that is going to help you achieve your goals in the summer and throughout the rest of the year?
I'm so jazzed for Summit because I was so like on the fence, but it's just little by little. You're just chipping away the ice. You know, I had small success hitting Success Club 5. I wanted to jump, like sing a freaking song that day. I was so over the moon excited. Then when I got a coach, when I sponsored a coach, I was like, wanted to jump up and down. The month I hit Success Club 10, I was like practically peeing my pants. And when I became Emerald, I think I cried. So literally, I'm not joking. Like, I want to cry right now because if you do it for the right reasons, like, you will find success. And I mean, you just within, like, know that, like Lindsay said, how you are as your success is directly correlated with how many lives you change. If you care about people and want them to get healthier and happier, because being healthier yields being happier. It's an interrelated process, in my opinion, and you know, science proves it now. So I know I'm not smoking dope over here being crazy. This is real stuff, and there's definitely, I kind of think someone's probably coined it, there's a fitness revolution going on right now. People are getting scared of the fact that over half Americans are obese. People eat fast food all the time. Like, it's no joke. It's time that people are really getting serious about their health, which I so respect, which we're in this at the right time. You know, we've been given the opportunity, I think, like, to succeed at this with little more than just having to be yourself and care. Like, what you need to do is just learn the basics, learn how things work, learn the process of all of this business, be yourself and care, and you'll be successful and make money. It's like the easiest way to make money if you're doing it, you know, for the right reasons and with passion. So for Summit, the main thing I'm excited to learn or to be there for is to hear from the top coaches and, you know, the great speakers speak. I love hearing people speak. I read all the freaking time. I love listening to great speeches. Like, I listened to Matthew McConaughey's Oscar speech, his acceptance speech this year, probably once a week. It was one of my favorite speeches I've heard in a while, and, like, I just love hearing people speak. I listen to the Wake Up Call every single Monday. I've not missed a Wake Up Call since I became a coach, which is huge. So hearing the speakers, and then also just being in a community of people who are the same, like, way with, you know, me and Laura and you guys, like, on this, just wanting to change lives pretty much. So the power of community is a huge thing. I'm going to take notes at every single thing. I'm going to go to every single training I'm allowed to. I'm probably going to, who knows when I'll fit a shower in there, but I'm going to go to absolutely everything. I don't care if Laura's done it because she's been to Summit. I'm going. She can join me. I'm doing every single thing on the agenda.
All the workouts.
Doing all the work. I'm doing every single workout. Every single workout. I'm going to die, but it's okay. So I'm going to do absolutely everything because, like she mentioned, I've been all in on this. So it's my first Summit. I'm going 100% all in. And I don't know the specifics, but I know when I leave, I'll have a very strong purpose of what my next steps are. And that will really guide me through kind of the remainder of summer. So it'll be a big moment to hit the rest of the year.
Okay. Well, I know I said that was the last thing, but I have one more thing.
Oh,
so
man.
We hit all the vital behaviors, but you talked a little
Oh,
bit
geez.
just now about personal development. How do you think, I think some people think that's like an optional thing, and what are your thoughts about it? And, I mean, you've done it for a long time, but how has that helped you, I guess, in terms of confidence or just finding your brand or just kind of, I guess, your purpose?
It's helped on everything. I think the thing too is people think it's optional, and people also think that it's only done a certain way, and I couldn't disagree more. There are so many avenues for personal development, whether it's reading a devotional, if you're kind of a tribe to like a religion or whatever, if it's reading, like GoPro and maybe more multi-level marketing specific focused ones, if it's ones that are really about like developing you as a leader, no matter what the area you go in, anything that's a reading, a writing, a listening tool that's going to better yourself somehow, in my opinion, is personal development. So I love to read, and I guess I've read, Laura gave me GoPro, which is the one kind of on multi-level marketing and network marketing, which was very, very helpful just to learn more about the industry, I guess, Beachbody is in. That was helpful. I read another one called Go for No, and it was similar to that. That helped a lot with like kind of confidence with the business side and dealing with objections, and also getting people, that you're sponsoring your downline, developing your downline. I think that helped a lot. But what I do to become a better Alexa, I would say, which is, there's still a lot to go, but I like to read a lot of Buddhist teachings, and I think it's helped me for sure become a calmer person, because when I was unhealthy, the main thing is just I was like, the littlest thing set me off, and it's kind of like if I still had those tendencies, I wouldn't have made $1 doing this, because as soon as someone even slightly wavered, or I got a half objection even, I would have just like gone crazy, and I would have scared them off forever. So learning how to control my emotions and to calm myself, I think, and be more in tune with what's going on and not, extremes, is my main thing that I think is helping me success with this. Also, confidence is definitely, the more confident and the more you just are truly believe in what you're doing, the more people are drawn to you. So reading a lot, I just finished the Happiness Project, reading a lot on how to like increase your happiness, kind of, and the Happiness Project was cool in that it drove from a lot of philosophy and social psychology, a lot of avenues she incorporated in about how you, just as an average person, can make your life more rich and make your life more happy. So I've been doing a lot of that, and it has been helping me become happier, and it has like kind of been helping me become more confident. So I guess the last thing is that I'm learning too what my brand is. I know Laura just mentioned that in her question, and by knowing, I was telling Laura this the other day, by knowing who I am without a shadow of a effing doubt. I said the real world word when I was with Laura the other day, but I'm not going to cuss on this video because I don't know where it's going to end up. But knowing yourself without a shadow of a doubt is huge for developing your brand, because as soon as you develop your brand with this, people are attracted to you. And when you can get a very, very sharp knowledge of who you are as a person, what you do like, what you don't like, what you will stand for, what you won't stand for, the type of person that you are, the type of person you want to be, the type of people you like, and the type of people you don't like, knowing all of that, just it's so much easier to kind of make posts and make communications
see yourself, and
that
then people see it
exactly
and are attracted
that are
to you if they want
authentic.
to do that as well. So.
Knowing yourself deep in and deep out, you can lead a more authentic life. And then when you lead a more authentic life, I think people are drawn to you. And when they're drawn to you, guess what? You're a Beachbody coach, so you can make money by helping them get healthier. So it's kind of all interrelated. Win.
Happier, healthier people.
High five.
That's terrible. That's bad. Yeah.
Sorry that was long, but.
All right. Well, a lot of good nuggets, and Alexa's helped me a lot too, actually, because I'm her coach, but I'm always learning as well. And like we said, she told me
we love to learn
stuff now because my brain's just 100 miles an hour all the time. So I'm hoping to follow her example, become a calmer.
Just gonna be Buddha. We're all Buddha.
I really liked that thing. You said, like, within you, you have all you need to succeed, or you
Yeah.
already have everything
You do.
inside of you, which is cool, because I was always looking for, like, what's the secret? What's the next thing?
No,
Like, what
you have
I
it.
have the secret. Like, the secret's out there. I just gotta grab it. Like, and she said, like, no, you have everything within you to succeed. So I just want to leave you with that. You have everything inside of you to succeed. Obviously, you can learn and grow, and you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fall on your face, but
scare
just
people away with bad
just
videos. Like
know
me.
without a shadow of a doubt who you are, what you're doing, and that you're gonna keep going and you're gonna be successful. So thanks, Alexa, for your time.
You got it. Sorry, this is so long. We wanted to be 5 minutes.
But
that
we're
was
so
unrealistic.
energetic. I have so much energy because then you said, woo.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.